Welcome back, everyone, to another exciting episode of the Functional Longevity Podcast, where we give you insight on how to get fit, feel younger, and live better. I'm your host, Chris Border, best-selling author and owner of Y.E.S Fitness. Let me first thank you for taking time from your busy day to listen to what I have to say. I don't take that lightly. Before we get started, let me also thank our sponsor, Y.E.S Fitness. Most people lose the ability to enjoy life as they age. At Y.E.S Fitness, we help people age 40 plus get fit so they can live longer and enjoy those extra years doing the things they love to do. Some quick housekeeping here. If you want to get a timestamp or a transcript of today's broadcast, you can head out over to yesfitnessct.com. You'll see a button across the top that says podcast. Click on that and it'll give you access to any one of our now 318 broadcasts. You can also get this broadcast wherever podcasts can be found. The power of discipline versus motivation. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that everyone has encountered at some point in time in their life, the battle between discipline and motivation. Now, you might think these two words are interchangeable, but they couldn't be more different when it comes to achieving your goals. So let's paint a picture. It's January 1st. And like most people, you've spent the last week thinking about the years that's passed and dreaming about what's ahead. You're full of energy, buzzing with a sense of possibility, and ready to take on the world. Maybe you set a few resolutions, get in shape, quit a bad habit, or finally commit to a new passion or a new project. Everything feels fresh. Everything feels possible. But here's the reality check. That motivation fades. In fact, studies show that 90% of New Year's resolutions are abandoned by March. So where does that leave you now? Halfway through the year. Many of us, 3/4 of the way through the year now. How many of those resolutions are still going strong? Motivation is like a spark. It's exciting. It's bright, but it burns out quickly. Discipline, on the other hand, is the slow, steady fire that keeps you going long after the initial spark has dimmed. And we know in today's society, everything wants results and everything overnight, when typically it's that slow, steady that gets us to where we want to go. So in today's episode, we're going to break down why discipline trumps motivation every single time, and how you can start incorporating small disciplined actions into your daily life to make real, lasting progress toward your goals. Let's first talk about why motivation fades. Let's start by getting real about motivation. Motivation feels great, doesn't it? You wake up in the morning, ready to hit the gym, eat clean, crush it at work, and live your best life. But we all know that feeling doesn't last. Motivation is highly dependent on your emotional state and external factors. How many times have you been super motivated to work out, but then the life gets in the way? Maybe you had a long day at work, the weather's lousy, you're just not feeling it. Suddenly, that urge of motivation is nowhere to be found. It's gone as fast as it came, leaving you with an unmet goal and frustration. The truth is that motivation alone is unreliable. You can't wait for it to show up to get things done. If you're relying solely on motivation to achieve your goals, you're setting yourself up for failure. But discipline is the game changer. Discipline isn't flashy. It's not that rush of excitement you get when you set a new goal, but it's what gets you across the finish line. Discipline is the decision to show up every day, regardless of how you feel. It's the small, consistent actions that add up over time. Think of it like this. Motivation gets you started, but discipline keeps you going. Let me give you some real-world examples of daily discipline that can transform your life. Wake up at 4:30 a.m. Have your workout clothes and your shoes ready at your bedside the night before. So you're ready to get working out. Preparing your lunch for work the night before. Brewing your coffee in advance so it's ready to go in the morning. Make your to-do list the night before so you can wake up with a plan. Might seem like small things, but these are the habits that create the foundation for success. I've never met anyone who goes to bed early, gets up, gets a good night's rest, wakes up at 4:30, and isn't successful in some way. Those early morning hours when the world is quiet are often the most productive time of the day. Now, I'm not saying you have to wake up at 4:30 a.m. every day to be successful. But what I am saying is this: when you commit to daily discipline, whatever form that takes for you, it will ripple into every other area of your life. So let's talk a little bit about how discipline transforms your goals. Discipline is action. It's tangible. If you want to lose weight, discipline isn't just saying, I want to drop 20 pounds. It's the act of planning and preparing your meals ahead of time. It's setting a time each day to move your body. It's the consistent execution of small tasks that over time lead to big results. Let's say you want to become a writer. Get off the exercise weight loss thing. Let's just say you want to become a writer. Waiting for motivation to strike you won't get you there. But if you discipline yourself to write for just 15 minutes a day, every single day, you will be amazed at how much progress you can make. The act of sitting down to write, whether you feel like it or not, becomes easier because it's part of your daily routine. This is why discipline is so powerful. It removes the need to make decisions in the moment. When you've already decided the night before that you're waking up early to hit the gym or prep your meals, you're not leaving any room for excuses. So there is something here, the danger of too many choices. One of the biggest barriers to discipline is too many options. We live in a world where we're constantly bombarded with choices. And when you have to make many and you have too many options, you fall into a trap in decision and inaction. Let me give you an example. You're trying to decide whether or not to work out. If you wake up and think, should I go to the gym? Should I go for a run? Should I do a home workout? You've already given yourself room to back out. The more choices you have, the easier it is to pick the option that requires the least effort, which is usually doing nothing. Instead, take the decision making out of the equation. Commit to your course of action. Lay out your gym clothes the night before, decide on your workout, and when you wake up, there's no question about it what you're going to do. You simply execute the plan you've already made. Building your own discipline. How do we do this? So how do we start building discipline if you've always relied on motivation to get by? Start small. Discipline doesn't mean overhauling your entire life overnight. It's about identifying one or two actions you can do consistently that will help you get closer to your goal. Ask yourself, what are the top 1 to 3 actions that you can discipline yourself to do every day that will move you closer to your goal? For example, if your goal is to improve your fitness, we're, Jim, so we're going to continue to talk about fitness, but let's just say your goal is to improve your fitness. Maybe it's committing to 30 minutes of movement every day. It could be 3 10-minute bouts, 2 15-minute bouts, or a full 30-minute bouts, but you've committed to 30 minutes a day. If your goal is to eat healthier, maybe preparing your meals for the week on Sunday. That's what I do Sunday mornings. I prepare my breakfast and always my lunch, but sometimes my breakfast on Sundays. And we have a plan when we go grocery shopping what we're going to have for dinner each night. So there's no thinking that needs to be done. When it comes to Monday night, this is what the plan was. This is what we're going to have. We didn't pre-prep the meal, but we certainly planned the meal. So we have the foods there and we don't have to think about it. If your goal is to reduce stress, maybe it's setting aside 10 minutes every morning for mindfulness or meditation. Once you've identified those key actions, make them part of your daily routine. Remove as many obstacles as you can. Prepare in advance. Set yourself up for success. The more you make these actions non negotiable, the more they'll become ingrained in your lifestyle. Let's think about consistency over perfection. One of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to build discipline is aiming for perfection. It isn't about being perfect every day, it's about showing up consistently. You're going to have days where you're off, you're going to miss a workout, or have a day where your nutrition isn't on point. That's okay. What matters is that you get back on track the next day. It's not the occasional slip up that derails your progress. It's letting those slip ups become more and new and become that new routine. Discipline is about committing yourself to that. No matter what, you'll keep showing up. Myself today, I've been working all day. I've already put in 10 hours. Do I want to go down to my basement and work out? Right now, I really don't have that motivation, but it's part of my discipline. I know I'm going to do it. I know that when I'm done, I'm going to feel better. So my closing thoughts here are, I want to leave you with this motivation. Motivation is a great starting point, but it's the discipline that will carry you through to the finish line. Think of motivation as the spark that lights the fire, but it's the steady burn of discipline that keeps you going. If you rely solely on motivation, you'll find yourself stuck in cycles of starting and stopping with little progress to show for. But when you build discipline into your daily life, you create unstoppable momentum. So take a moment today to reflect on your goals. What are the key actions you can start taking today to discipline yourself towards progress? Remember, it's not about massive sweeping changes. It's about small, consistent steps that compound over time. So thanks for tuning into this Yes Functional Language podcast. Until next time, stay disciplined, stay focused, and remember, real change comes from daily action. Let's make this happen together. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you subscribe, share it with your friends, and leave a review. Your feedback helps us grow and continue bringing you the tools and strategies to live your strongest life. Take care, and we'll catch up next week when I'll give you more information on how to get fit, feel younger, and live better. Have a great night.